Yo, everybody. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. I know it's later on the West Coast and already afternoon in Chicago, where I'm from, my hometown, but it's still morning in Los Angeles. Look how pretty today is. I was going to attempt to see if I could prop the video up somewhere, the phone I should say, to talk to you guys out here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So I just wanted to drop in and let you see the beauty though. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I bet I could do it right here, and I could go get my, hold on. Why is it telling me? Uh-oh. Y'all know I'm moving around, so I'm like doing things I don't normally do. I could do that, right? Hey now. Okay, what up, Twiz? Okay, I'm gonna go get my my booklet because I took some notes for you guys today. We're gonna be tackling quite a few things. We're gonna talk about recurring depression. We're gonna talk about how to release toxic people and or situations out of your life. Hey y'all, welcome to the conversation. And we're gonna talk about how to stick to your to-do list when you're distracted, right? And who's not distracted, especially in today's world? So I got a lot of good suggestions from people, and I've decided to take them on. I know it might sound like it's a lot, but we cover a lot of ground in the time that we spend together. So this is so dope. I'm going to be able to do this outside. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the conversation. This is Morning Talks with Ro. You see, I got my notes. I ain't playing. Okay, let's see. What do we have? So how's everybody doing? Before I even get started, let me check in with you guys and see how you are. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Marvin. Good morning, Martha. Hey, Tony. Thank you. Philly in the building. What up, Twiz? I see you. Hey, London's in the spot. I love it. What's going on, y'all? Y'all see how gorgeous it is today? Come on now. I was in Tennessee last week and it was kind of gorgeous. I was like, it's going to try to out-gorgeous Cali. Cali came through for me today. So welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. Hopefully you got your morning drink. We're going to be tackling a lot of stuff. First, we're going to start off with depression, recurring depression. And when someone, I put the call out there yesterday, I was like, what do you guys want to talk about? And this particular comment got a lot of likes. So I was like, all right, we're gonna dive into that. How do you deal with recurring depression? Let's look at that. I took some notes. Okay, so you know how before I used to say that we could do something simultaneously. This is something that I learned from Tony Robbins years ago. But if you do these three things simultaneously, you have to change what you're experiencing in the moment. Even if that thing does decide to come back because, you know, whether we mentally entertain it again or however it decides to come back in our lives, if you practice this particular piece of behavioral science, you can change what you're experiencing in the moment. Hey, everybody, welcome to the conversation. Hey, Najacian. So, first thing, change what you're giving your attention to. Change your focus, right? So you may be like relentlessly focusing on the thing that is causing depression. What can you give attention to that is going to create something different for yourself? What can you give your attention to? Where can you put your focus in the moment and change it? Second thing that you want to do simultaneously with changing your focus, changing where you're giving your attention, is to do something different with your body, right? So a lot of the times, especially when we're talking about depression, your body kind of mirrors what depression could look like. You may have bad posture, right? You may have a slumped shoulders. You may have shallow breathing. You don't deep. Okay, it's hating on me. Hold on. Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on. The reception is not my friend, so I got to get in the car and see if that helps. Look, I got my hat all crazy. The wind and blew it off. Welcome back, Ro. Hey, y'all. All right, we back at our home spot in the car. Okay. Hey, everybody. Okay, so we were talking about number 2, do something different with your body. So let me turn on this car and give me some air. So that could be something like going to the gym. That could be something like getting up and doing some jumping jacks. Get up and shake. You know what I'm saying? Do something different in the moment with what your physiology is doing, because a lot of the times depression can match your posture. It can match your attitude. Do something different. The third thing that you want to do simultaneously, hey Rise, the third thing you want to do simultaneously is to change what you're talking about or how you're talking about it. So either change the subject completely, change what you're talking about, or change how you're talking about it. Can you flip your language? What is your language saying? Is it continuing to perpetuate what you don't want? Can you find more empowering words or more empowering things to think about how you're expressing yourself? Right? So either change the subject completely or change how you're talking about it. So change where you're giving your attention, your focus. Do something different with your body and change what you're talking about or how you're talking about it. Do these three things together. This is behavioral science. Do these three things together and you are bound to change your experience in that moment. That is a way to kind of scramble the pattern when you're dealing with recurring depression, okay? Another thing that we could do, and also I want to be sensitive enough to acknowledge that I know sometimes people feel like their depression is chemical. It's not even something that they're mentally dealing with. So if it is that, I'm sure that you have other professionals you can speak with that can handle whatever you need to get you better. But I find that, especially as a coach, a lot of depression comes from people's mindsets. It comes from comparisons. It comes from trying to live up to other people's expectations. It comes from not knowing your purpose. It comes from not feeling like you're worth it, not feeling like you're worthy or deserving. It comes from a lack of self-esteem. You get what I'm saying? It comes from a lot of mental stuff. And so once you can identify what those things are, if you can keep it 100 with yourself, keep it honest, and we can get in there and find out where it's coming from, then it's a matter of tweaking perspective. Then it's a matter of what else could this mean, giving it new meaning. So I find that majority of the depression that I run across, it's not chemical, it is mental, it is emotional, it's even spiritual. And these are things that you can work to change. Isn't that awesome? Hey y'all, welcome to the conversation. Hey Anicia, hey Tiffany. We are talking about how to combat, so to speak, recurring depression. Okay, and then check in with, like what I was just basically speaking about, check in with where the depression is coming from. What are the thoughts that you are swirling around in your head that's causing the feeling of depression? And depression is when you feel hopeless and helpless. What a double whammy, right? So you're not hopeful about the future. You can't see that it's going to change. And then you're helpless about the future. You don't even see how it can change. You don't think it can. Ouch. So you don't see any change and you don't see how it can change. Hopelessness and helplessness. So find out if what you're even thinking about is rational. Like, does it come from a real place? Is it a lot of conjured up stuff? Are you making assumptions about things that don't even exist yet? Are you a worrywart? What kind of thoughts are you turning over in your head on a regular basis? Who are you listening to on a regular basis? Is it fact or fiction? Put these thoughts that you're dealing with, this depression that you're dealing with, up against these questions. Find out where it's coming from and what's giving it its power, if it's rational, and why it's there. Sometimes depression is calling for change. Sometimes depression is calling for growth. And if you're resisting that, you might send yourself in a vicious cycle of staying the same. You're not getting why it's there. You're so busy resisting that it's persisting. You know what I'm saying? So find out why it's there. Maybe it's calling for you to make a shift in some area in your life and you're not paying attention. Maybe it's calling for you to either reduce your time with or eliminate your time with a certain person or a certain job or a certain behavior or habit, right? certain substance, if you're dealing with substance abuse, maybe it's a wake-up call, and it's trying to nudge you in another direction that's to more of your benefit, that's going to empower you more. So be honest with yourself, right? Maybe the depression is here as a catalyst for change. It's actually your ally. It's trying to move you into a different state of being. It's trying to tell you to wake up and make some new choices. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, bless up, Rhonda. Hey, lady. Hey, Martha. Welcome to the conversation. Shanika says, this is right on point. My depression had reoccurred in the last 3 weeks, but I have been reading A New Earth, which is an amazing book, and the book has helped me get back to the mindset I strive to have. It is one of the best books I've ever read that helps to alleviate human suffering. A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. It is one of the best books I've ever read to help with alleviating human suffering. Now, if you read the book and you can't barely take it in, please don't take it personally. Because some people, they're just not ready for this consciousness that's trying to knock on your door and awaken you to another level. In all honesty, if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, it's like taking the blue pill. Isn't that the one that takes you out of this false reality? And it brings you into your real power. It takes you to the source of your real power, not this ego-based stuff that, you know, people think is the real power. That's not the real power. Your real power comes from conscious awakening. Whew. That's a very powerful book. Okay. Hey, Tiffany. Anicia says, hopeless, helpless, living without a purpose. You've nailed it. Bless up, baby. Truth in these words. Hey, Forrest, welcome to the conversation, dear. Okay, so we just got through talking about dealing with, or how to deal with, recurring depression. These are things that you can do. Definitely put it up against those rational questions we just talked about. Oh, okay. And we also talked about the 3 things you can do simultaneously to change your experience in the moment. And then don't forget the power of choice. Get out there and generate the emotions that you would like to experience. So if you want more happiness or you want more laughter, go watch a comedy. You know what I'm saying? Go watch something that's going to generate laughter in you. If you want to experience more euphoria, you know, maybe go to the beach and watch the waves crash in. Maybe go to the park and just acutely focus on the beauty of flowers. How nature can teach us through the beauty of itself is astounding sometimes. We just choose to use it as a meditation. If you feel like you want to receive more inspiration and motivation and push to go to the next level, go find you some mentors on YouTube. There's plenty where you can finish listening to them. You'll be on fire. Call one of your mentors or friends that's steeped in more joy, that's steeped in more calm, more peace, more of the fruits of the spirit that you'd like to experience. Go out there and happen to life. A lot of the times when some of us get depressed, we are waiting for life to happen to us. And that just keeps us sitting in this vortex of negativity, this vortex of nothingness, this vortex of less energy, because we're not creating any. Create more energy. We got to get out there and grind the pavement. We got to get out there and create purpose. If you feel like you don't have purpose or you have yet to discover it, I want you guys to remember that you are out here co-creating your destiny through your choices. So you can choose to give yourself purpose until you feel like some other divine intervention comes in. Coaching came about for me like that. When I was going through that rough moment and I said, I refuse to be unhappy, I was like, I got to do something that brings me joy. How else can I be of service to people? Coaching was birthed from that. And I didn't come from that particularly because I remember claiming that I would want to be a coach maybe a decade before it actually happened. Go figure. Sometimes life has to put us through things in order for us to be birthed into another part of our destiny, if you will. But yeah, choose. This was not something I came out of the womb choosing. I more so came out of the womb choosing the fine arts, to be a singer, you know, to be an entertainer. That came more naturally to me in my early years. Coaching came to me more heavily in my adult years, and then I chose it. And then I did the work to become a better coach and to become a better writer and to become a better speaker. And just by giving myself that purpose, boy, did I fill up my time and my days. Boy, did I fill up my brain and my heart with new information that pushed me into the next greatest version of myself. Just by giving myself that purpose, it opened up a whole other lane of reward and happiness and peace and drive in my life. I gave myself that through choice. Now God's working on me through my choice. So give yourself purpose. Hey, everybody, welcome to the conversation. Let's see what you're saying. Hey, James, welcome to the conversation. Okay, Shanika says, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for you. Bless up, so don't miss it. So, you know, sometimes we'll get things that we don't like, but in everything, I look for the good. Even the stuff that's whooping my tail, I'm like, why is it here? What can I gain from that? Even if it's telling me what not to do next time. Even if it's telling me what direction I don't want to go again. There's good in it. Even if it's saying, you know what, it's time for change. You've been procrastinating. You've been dragging your feet. You've been waiting for somebody else to do what you need to do for yourself. There's always good somewhere in there. Even when, we had the recent passing of Nipsey Hussle. Very, very sad situation. But my goodness, look at the purpose that's been birthed since it. There's always good. There's something, some shift, some change, some growth, some reward, something that's there. If we dig and we look for it, we can find it. I really believe that. Yeah. Okay. So how about that for dealing with recurring depression? If you have any questions for me with regard to that, let me know, because we're going to be moving into how to release toxic people and or situations. People seem to like that comment too. What y'all doing out there? Dealing with all this toxicity. Hey, Christina. I mean, and sometimes we're the toxicity. Hello. Whoop. Don't be pointing the finger at everybody else. If you know you got a little something you've been adding to the pot too, right? Sometimes we're the toxicity, and we have to make some changes in order for our environment to shift. What are we indulging in? Quite possibly that could be causing the thing that we say we don't like that's happening. That definitely happens. So did anybody want to chime in about some of the things I shared, with regard to recurring depression? Because if not, let's move into releasing toxic people and or situations. All right, moving on. Okay, so first question, figure out what is the cost of keeping this relationship around? Because some people say it's difficult for them to release toxic people and or situations, or it's hard. Like, well, difficult and hard, same thing. But like they don't know how. They don't know how to do it. They're like, how do you release them out of your life? So let's ask you some questions, because maybe once you get more clear about just how toxic they are or not, maybe they aren't, then you will be more motivated to make a choice that's, going to empower you, that's going to be best for the situation. But maybe if you don't have enough information, you don't feel like you have enough power backing your choice. So what would it cost? What does it cost you to keep this relationship around, or to keep this situation in your life? What is it costing you? What you say? Sometimes you got to look in the mirror. That's right, at your own stuff. Hello. And can you do a pros and a cons list? Like, what are the pros of keeping them around or it around? What is the cons of keeping this person around or the situation around? And if the pros outweigh the cons, maybe you want to rethink just how toxic this person or situation actually is. But if the cons outweigh the pros, then you've got to make I would highly recommend that you make some decisions that either reduce your time with that thing or that person, or eliminate it altogether, depending on how toxic it is. So that's a great thing, a great exercise to do. Ask yourself, what is it costing me to keep this person or this situation around? Write it down so that you can see it in plain view. And then if you want to, make a list of pros and cons, and then see what wins. And then by that recognition, hopefully you can make a better choice about how to release them, or when, or, what would be best. Okay, boundaries. Do you have them? Do you have boundaries? Does your no mean no and your yes mean yes? You know how I love to say, put things up against your value system. Are you clear about your values, like what's important to you. Do you value family and this person doesn't? Do you value friendship and this person doesn't? Do you value good work ethic? Do you value people that are on time? I don't know. Do you value, or being on time? Do you value being spiritual, having a spiritual life? What are the things that are important to you? You know, and do these things that you feel are toxic, do they represent that? Are you able to find commonality with that? Or is it so distant that that's why you're dealing with such dissension, low vibrational energy and interaction, and then you know you've got to deprioritize it in your life because now it's working against who you really are, what you're really about. And maybe that'll motivate you to take the necessary action because you realize, wait a minute, this is actually imposing on who I really am. And this has to go, you know? Yes, you know, and are you afraid to honor yourself? And is it costing your happiness? How much is it costing your happiness? Like, you know how sometimes you can walk into a situation or get around a person and just this feeling could overtake your body, or there's like a weird, uneasy feeling in your chest or something. Are you aware of what it does to your physiology when you're in the presence of that person or that thing? Oh, bless up, Darcel. Welcome to the conversation, darling. You know, are you, what are you experiencing physically? What are you experiencing spiritually when that person comes around? You know, does it feel dark? Does it feel light? Is it you? Now that you know, ask yourself these very poignant questions. Does the light stop shining on them and start turning on you? Hey, D. You know, that's one of the things that we can all afford, that it would be, I feel, in our best interest to do, is to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we can get in a blame game and point the finger at other people and situations and not realize what we're contributing to what we say we don't like. So don't forget to put the spotlight on yourself. Right? Okay, and then do you have understanding of the situation or the person? Like, for example, you know how you could be, let's say, you could have a kid that's in 3rd grade and give them a 9th grade problem. Would you really expect them to figure it out? If they did, you'd be like, they're genius. But more than likely, you're not even going to give them the problem to solve because you know that it's just out of their jurisdiction to understand. It is just out of their capacity to handle or to do. It's just not where their developmental stage is. Do you have understanding for that in the person that you have an issue with or the situation that you have an issue with? Are you expecting too much from them or the situation? Is it realistic or reasonable what you're expecting? That's a good question. Right? Maybe you're expecting more of the situation than they're even able to deliver, than they're even developed enough to recognize or to make change for, because they just haven't even developed to that space, or they're not aware enough to make a better decision, or whatever the case may be. Can you reevaluate what you're expecting from the person or situation? Is it realistic? Is it reasonable? And if you feel like it is, then you know you got to make a new choice that's more in alignment with your highest good. You know? Oh, okay, this is kind of like playing on some of the things that I said before. Is it a compliment or a detriment to your destiny, to the greater version of yourself? Is having this person around, hey Damon, is having this person around a compliment or a detriment to you? Being honest. Is it imposing on your ability to become greater? Is it pumping the brakes on your progress? Is it such a huge distraction that it's not leaving room for you to operate at your more optimal space of being? Like if you, and you know, there's a great ratio out there that a lot of people use that I think is pretty cool, the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time is it a pretty good relationship, and sometimes that may be a little bit gratuitous depending on the person or situation we're talking about. Maybe if we can just get 60-40, we good. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get 70-30, but 80-20 is like really good. You know what I'm saying? You can expect that you might have some moments, 20%, where it's not gelling. You know what I'm saying? But is it majority of the time something that helps you to propel or progress? Or does it keep you stagnant or work against you? Is it a compliment to you or a detriment to you to keep this person or this situation in your life? Really good question. Hey everybody, welcome to the conversation. We are talking about all kinds of good stuff. I'm all up in my notes, okay? Because I didn't want to forget any of these things that were brainstormed for this session. Earlier we talked about dealing with recurring depression. So if you'd like to tune back in, later to catch those jewels, do that. Right now we're talking about how to release toxic people and or situations out of your life. And then the last bit of information, I got this from a buddy of mine who lives in London. What up, Mickey? He was like, how do you get through your to-do list when you're distracted? I'm like, I know, right? Who's not distracted? I mean, we live in the era of weapons of mass distraction. Majority of people I find, their biggest distraction now in 2019 is social media or mindless web surfing or clickbait or blogger slogger. You know what I'm saying? Like, just can't get enough of being on the internet in some way, shape, or form. And so it is consuming so much of the precious time that everybody only gets a small little bit of. We all get 24 hours in a day. How you manage yours makes the difference with whether you progress or you don't, with whether you get something done or you don't, right? I love to bring up other people that are like exceptionally successful, because it's like, dang, well, how did they get all that done and I'm over here, I ain't doing much or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So think about some of the people that you admire and look at what they're doing with their 24 hours. How are they getting it done? Anyway, okay, so how do you stay focused on getting your to-do list done without being distracted? Well, one of the first things that you guys know that I'm huge on promoting and being an advocate for is having some kind of routine when you start your day. I call it a morning routine, but some kind of routine that sets the tone for your day. Something that enables you to focus on the things that you desire right when you open your eyes. Something that puts you in the energy you want to entertain right when you open your eyes. Something that keeps you separated from tapping into other people's thoughts and agendas the first thing in the morning. Like something that says, that I'm not going to touch that for the first half hour to an hour of my day. I'm going to dedicate the first half hour to an hour of my day to just focusing on nurturing me, nurturing my mindset, nurturing my spirit, nurturing my goals. For me, as most of you know, I wake up and go into gratitude immediately. Sometimes it's suggested to take that very delicious, creative space when you're just coming out of your sleep state and you're feeling relaxed yet conscious at the same time, to use that to visualize. Because in that space, as they say, it's very fertile. It's like very fertile, etheric ground for you to plant your seeds. And the more that you can feel, this is a visualization tip. The more that you can feel what you want to experience, what you see in your mind's eye, the quicker you can bring in this manifestation. So if you want this new house, maybe when you wake up in your bed, imagine waking up in the bed that will be in the new house. You know what I'm saying? The more that you can tap into the feeling of the vision that you're projecting, the better. Right? And then I go into, so I do gratitude, I do meditation and visualization. You can do it in whatever order you want. You don't have to do any of this, but I would say at least find something that puts your mind and your heart in the space that you desire before you get out into this world. Give yourself a fighting chance to hold on to your own dreams before you go working hard on somebody else's at a job. You know what I'm saying? Get your spirit, your attitude, your energy in balance. before you get out here and possibly let somebody else or something else take you right off track from the moment you step out of your bed. Because if we wake up with anxiety or anxiousness, or you up rushing and running, you're carrying that anxiousness and what's that frenetic energy already into your day with other people. You know what I'm saying? You're already carrying this with you. And you're bringing that into the environment. You're like a little satellite radiating this kind of energy around that's affecting you and everybody else and your possibilities. So the more that we can get, in control of or in balance with our energy and what we're giving off and what we're choosing to tune into, the better. So start your day with something, some kind of routine that empowers you and that puts you in position to win. Create it. If you want to figure out how to do that, come to PPU. We're going to be doing, I got another session that's going to be starting in my birthday month, May. That's coming up in the middle of the month. If you want to become a student, let me know. Write yes in the comments and we can see if it's a good fit for you. Personal Power University. Okay. He said, what if you want to get through your to-do list, but you're distracted? What is the distraction? Be sure to identify what is distracting you. So if it's not social media, is it a person? Is it somebody that's just sucking the attention away, like they're too needy? I don't know. Is it too much TV? Is it I don't know. I mean, whatever the distraction could be for you. I find that a lot of the times it really is social media for so many people. If you want to, seriously, I give this challenge to my students, and it's amazing how they come back feeling like drug addicts when they're like, yo, I'm addicted. Seriously, I'll tell them, look, do us a favor and give yourself a certain amount of times that you're going to get on social media tomorrow. You're going to allow yourself to get online, period. Whether it's emails, because some people, like, they're inundated with emails. And before they do anything, prayer, thank you, God, for waking me up, nothing. They already picked up their smartphone and they're looking at emails and who reached out and what business they need to transact. They're already gone, tapped into somebody else's agenda. So I say, look, do yourself a favor. Pick a minimal amount of times that you're going to allow yourself to get on the internet, period, tomorrow, or just the computer, period. And then give yourself an increment of time that you're going to allow yourself to stay on. So that could be 3 times tomorrow, and you won't stay on any longer than 15 minutes per block of time. At best, if you're responding to work email, maybe you'll give yourself 20 minutes. And they said, well, what about if somebody hits me during the day? Don't take off all your alerts on your phone. Shut them all off so you're not getting dinged and blinged, because that's an incredible distraction. And it takes people right out of their spaces all the time, because you have all these apps that are on, and every time they ding and bling, they're taking you right out of your space. So I turn all that stuff off. I don't leave any of that stuff on. I'm like, I'll go check it if I need to find something out, because I gotta focus. Focus is a commodity. It's like the biggest commodity nowadays ever, because a lot of people don't have it, and that's why a lot of stuff isn't getting done. So, you could say, okay, I'm going to allow myself to check it after I do my morning routine. And then I'm going to allow myself to check it after lunch. And then maybe right before dinner, because we don't want to take other people's agendas and thoughts to bed. So maybe, checking it before bed is not necessarily in your best interest, because it'll keep the brain stimulated too. Plus, you might be encountering the blue light on the phone, which is another thing they say continues to stimulate the brain and makes it more difficult for you to sleep. So, make sure it's earlier in the evening. But try this. I challenge everybody in this chat to do that. Give yourself a limited amount of times that you're going to get on the internet tomorrow, or just the computer in general. And then, set a certain amount of time that you're going to do it. And keep your word to yourself so that you can actually see if you're addicted. And it will show you just how much time you have been throwing away. You have been giving to somebody else's agenda. You have been giving your heart space. You get all angry and worked up and bent out of shape about stuff that you know what I'm saying? You think you're gonna get on for a few minutes, and next thing you know, 2 hours later, you're watching somebody in Costa Rica do a backflip off of this, special mountain that everybody talked about. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's how it happens. It's super random, how you can end up stuck. Clicking. You know what I'm saying? So try that. experiment and see just how addicted you might be. And also, if it's not social media, just in general, identify what your distraction is. What is distracting you? And then find out what it's costing you to distract you. What's not getting done? And then reduce your time with it or eliminate it altogether if it's totally working against your progress or your greater good. You know what I mean? And you'll know if that's necessary or not. One of the things that I like to suggest, and I've been implementing this for myself of late in order to be productive, is it's really simple, and it can hopefully make you feel so much more so much more successful about your day. Pick 3 things a day that you want to get done personally, and 3 things a day that you want to get done professionally. So for example, personally, I might say I got to get in my morning routine. That's very important. It's going to help me move the needle of progress in my life. I want to work out because I'm going to keep my body together. That's going to keep my energy up, right? So that's important personally. And then maybe another personal goal would be, that could change up. It could be self-care. Maybe you haven't taken a bath in forever. You're just always taking a shower and running out the house. Maybe it's time to do some, bath time and turn on some candles, light an incense, put a little essential oil in the water, turn on your favorite music and woosah. That could be a 3rd goal for that, that particular day. And then choose 3 goals that you want to tackle professionally. So for example, for me today, I needed to get up at the crack of dawn so that I could record for my new program that's coming. Because I needed the quiet of the morning. Everybody sleep. That's when I need to be up doing my work. So I got up at the crack of crack and I recorded one of my modules for my new program. That was one professional goal. Another professional goal is Morning Talks with Ro. Even though this nourishes me personally, I get to serve the public with this. And it also helps you to get to know more about me as a coach and more about whether you want to join the school Personal Power University, right? So that's a professional goal. Another professional goal, I think for today, I'm going to be doing the prep work for the next module I'm going to do at the crack of dawn tomorrow, because that's going to help me to prepare for chipping away at that goal until it finally gets done. If I get those 3 things done personally and those 3 things done professionally, I consider it a good day. And it's not overwhelming. And I'm making incremental progress. Now, if I add even more things to this, all the better, right? But just giving myself those 3 goals, those 6 goals, and knocking that out, I am now nurturing myself personally and professionally. How awesome is that? Come on, man. Morning Talks with Ro. Right? We toss around some good information here. So I'm complete. Is there anything that you guys want to contribute to the conversation? Do you have any questions for me before we get out of here? Eyes listening. Let me see what you're saying. I know I've been running off at the mouth. Thank you, Shirley. Shanika's knows that her distraction is social media. Sarah says, I've gotten better with social media addiction. Woo. Hey, Cheryl. Lady C, what up? She says, amen. Prayer and meditation first in the morning. I know you know. Nalija says, PPU is wonderful. Yes, got to be a part of PPU. Is best decision you ever made. Bless up. Thank you, dear. PPU changed my life and focus. Awesome, Sarah. Love it. Hey, James. Okay, so did you guys want to say anything before I get out of here? Did you want to say something? I've had another good day with you. I know I got this gangster lean cracking with the phone, but in order for me to get the vertical thing, it's kind of propped up very interestingly. Yeah, it was such a beautiful day today, right? So pretty. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys got much value from today's talk. I will connect with you next week. Until then, Morning Talks with Ro. And if you ever want to book a one-on-one live Skype coaching session with me, don't hesitate to reach out to RhonaBennett.com and check out the packages and see if something tickles your fancy. I am always here. And like I said, Personal Power University is going to be starting its next round of transformation in the month of May. So if you want to check into that, put yes in the comments. I'll come back. We'll do a private message and see if it's a good fit. Priska, hey baby. Welcome to the conversation, hun. I love the 3 things, personal and professional, starting tomorrow. Bless up. Priska checking in. Coach Ro, it's so good to see your face. Thank you, Anicia. Wonderful, Shanika. Delmar says, goal for today was prep to weekend program, set interview for mic moments, and work out in gym today. Bless up. Keep it up, you guys. 3 things personal, 3 things professional. Imagine how much of the needle of progress you can move if you stay consistent with something like that. Great tool. Great tool. Shirley, okay, Byron. Hey, Shirley, wow, that helped. 3 personal, 3 professional. Bless up. Okay, until next time, you guys, I'm sending love your way.